Issues that you need to know.
And now the solution for economic growth in our economy is now spending more money and pay no never mind to the debt ceiling as if it's irrelevant.
We got to come together if we're going to do anything about this.
Aligning reality with truth.
If the people have the lack of understanding the truth, truth is truth.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers.
Now, here's your host, Dan Celia.
You're listening to American Family Radio, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. Great to be here. Somebody called in and asked why health insurance costs are going up. All right, well, it's called ObamaCare. It's a system that is so ridiculously flawed that insurance companies are going to hammer you and I in order to make up the differences. And of course, the Obama administration wants that because it's going to force you and I to get off our private insurer and go into one of the state exchanges because we won't be able to afford it. That's how Obamacare is going to become socialized medicine. Make no mistake about it. It's going to be too expensive for anybody to do anything else. Bill from Kansas called. Landrew is who we're focusing on this week. Go to my website, financialissues.org, go to Accountability Corner, get her phone number for all our offices and call her. She came out in favor of Obamacare once again, said she would vote for it all over again. And we are asking everybody to call that office, shut her phones down, fill her voicemail up, let her know that we're going to work hard to make sure she doesn't get reelected. And we're doing it, by the way, equally with Republicans and Democrats. It's not a Democratic thing because as far as I'm concerned, right now, there are far more Republicans supporting Obamacare than there are Democrats because there are few Republicans that are willing to vote to defund it. That is a show of support, whether they believe it or not. And I know they don't. Bill from Kansas called and said, Landrew, don't forget. I did forget, Bill. Totally forgot. I appreciate your calling. Don't forget. Remember when Obamacare they were fighting to pass it? And there was this Louisiana kickback, Louisiana purchase, they called it. It was a kickback to Landrew and others to go along with it. And I totally forgot about that. So that would give us a little bit more insight as to why she is still firmly supporting. My biggest problem with her, not only that, is that she said she was ashamed of America and America's health care because we're not as good as Spain and France. I got real issues with that. And like I said the other day, she's obviously somebody that has never stooped so low as to speak to the commoners in France and Spain about their wonderful healthcare system. We know that those on Capitol Hill won't speak to you and I, the commoners here in America, but they're obviously not going to speak to the commoners over there to find out what they really think. Now, as someone that has been in an emergency room in Europe twice, I keep saying that, I know, because I only say that because I want people to know that it's not hearsay. She obviously has never been in one. Next time you go somewhere to Europe, go over to the hospital or the clinic and go to the emergency room. You don't have to stay. Just walk in and take a peek around. I'm telling you, that's all you're going to need to do. You'll get the picture. So it's just, it's insane. So we got to light up the phones, folks. We've got to light up the phones. That's who we're focusing. Senator Mary Landrew of Louisiana. We're going to get back to the phones, 866-300-9298. Before we do that, let's just take a look at some of the things that the markets in particular, and the markets right now are in positive territory. The Dow's up 31, all the major indices in positive territory. I guess a lot of that is the jobless claims, by the way, were down 6,000. I didn't even talk about the jobless claims. I just realized that. And I don't even remember what they were down. It was either 6,000 or 9,000 jobs, but first-time unemployment claims. But they were down. So I guess that's considered good news. It is good news. It's good news. GDP up, GDP growth. This is only the second look of GDP for the second quarter. They still have one more. So that number could get revised up. I suspect it'll get revised upward. It could get revised down. We'll see. So anyway, that's one of the reasons, one of the things that is driving the markets. Oil, right now, oil is still hanging in there below 110. It's at 109.33. All the precious metals are in negative territory right now. The only agricultural commodity that is up is corn. Everything else is down. The dollar, weaker today. So there's a little lack of correlation between the dollar and gold right now because gold should be up on the fact that the dollar is down. The dollar is down because it appeared. You know what? I may be wrong about that. I just realized that. I'm saying the dollar is down because I'm going by the number that was out before the GDP number came out. Now that the GDP number came out, maybe that's why gold is down. I may be misspeaking here. I better get my analytical data in order here. I'll have to do it at the break. So I'm going to have to check that out. The dollar may be rallying right now based on the GDP number. It wasn't. It was down before the GDP number came out. So I was just getting ready to say there's no correlation between gold because gold should be up on a falling dollar. But maybe the dollar is not falling anymore. I have to check that out. Anyway, we'll get back to the phones, 866-300-9298. Let me go to Patty. Patty calling us from Ohio. Hey, Patty.
Hi, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good. Want to thank you for all your work and your diligence and to help us out here. I think for myself, I really need it. I have two questions, one on ObamaCare and one on my husband's retirement IRA.
Okay.
I don't know which one you want to take first.
Give me the Obamacare first.
Okay. I'd like to know how this comes and how this will affect us senior citizens. My husband and I are both on Medicare. We do have a supplement. And will we have to continue to purchase a supplement, or how will that affect all of that?
So you, in state of Ohio is one of the states, by the way, where the increases are very, very significant.
I know.
To any kind of private insurance, whether it be supplement or not. As a matter of fact, I had a human resources person. She didn't say what company she worked for, but she just said she worked for a large corporation in Ohio who said that they were expecting a 70% increase for their employees.
Gosh.
But anyway, so yes, you are able to keep your supplement if you can afford it. So the supplement will still be available, but the prices are going to go up. There is going to be availability for seniors, obviously, if there ever is a state exchange in Ohio or through Obamacare to get that supplement or to get a subsidy for the Obamacare supplement. Now, what we're hoping for, one of the things, so you've heard me talk about, obviously, about defunding Obamacare and how important it is, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
But the other thing is that would really shut down Obamacare without any legislation necessary would be nobody signing up for the state exchanges. So if the vast majority would have to be of Americans, stayed out of the state exchanges, Obamacare goes away because it can't survive. Obamacare can't survive without people signing up to the state exchanges. It's done. It's finished. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board, which would be very difficult with a Republican controlled Congress. So Obamacare is dead if people don't sign up for the state exchanges. Now, the Obama administration knows that, and that's why they're pushing the NBA and the NFL to promote, trying to get to the young people to jump on these exchanges. So far, and they haven't done that yet, the NBA or the NFL, but if they do, that probably will help. But right now, young people are saying there's no way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm healthy. I'm not going into a state exchange where I've got to pay X amount of dollars every month or every year, where right now, worst case scenario is I pay a $500 fine or whatever it is. So it doesn't pay. I'm not going to do it. So that's going to kill the plan. So I can't, so I encourage you not to go to the exchange if at all possible. So, but right now, that's the situation on it. So I would suspect that you'll be getting notice, if you haven't already, about your supplement going up in price.
Okay. Well, that's what I was thinking how that would be, but I just wanted to get somebody else's knowledge on it because I wasn't real sure. I wasn't positive.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say I'm going to continue to try to bring some clarification to that Obamacare issue as well over the next month or so, because there's still so much we don't know about it. So keep listening. I know you will. But go ahead. Okay. You had that question on your husband's IRA.
Okay. My husband recently retired in June, the end of June, and through his company's 401k plan, we transferred that money to our traditional IRA and part of it to a Roth IRA because they told us some of it was taxed already, and so they put that into the Roth, and the traditional, everything else went into the traditional IRA. Now, we haven't done anything with that money. It's just kind of sitting there in those two accounts, and I was wondering what if you had any suggestions for us to do with that. It's not money that we need for income at this time.
Okay. And when do you think you might need it for income? How many years?
At least 10, hopefully 15.
Okay.
Because
so I think it makes sense for you to start doing, not start as in the next couple of months, but at least start thinking about getting some of that money invested. I would give serious consideration to getting some of that Roth money. Maybe think about a charitable gift annuity or an utility, some solid utilities where you can draw some income permanently. Because I really want people to start thinking about consumption. Do you get my newsletter, Patty?
Yes. Yes,
do. Okay. Well, this week in my newsletter that on Friday when it comes out, I wrote an article about that. I think it'll be some help to you to give you some thinking about what you might want to do as far as income goes. So, but I do think that you're in a good position because you're probably, a number of years away from needing to supplement your income. So I would tell you, don't do anything. Keep it right where it is right now. But I do think that you and I ought to touch base again in a couple of months. Let's see what this economy and markets are going to do, and then start thinking about weaning in with a portion of it, 40, 50% of it into the market. So hopefully that helps. We'll be right back after this.